Hey there, welcome to this week's episode of Sticky Note Marketing. I am Mary Czarnecki, your host. I am a digital strategist and marketing expert. I've spent 20 years helping both big brands and scrappy startups get in more contact with their ideal target audience, sell more stuff, and make a bigger impact in this world. So today I want to share a story with you before I get into my little teaching, which I want to share with you guys today, which is the 3 things to avoid, the 3 big mistakes that most business owners make when they're launching a new product or service, so that instead of making those mistakes, you can actually create offers consistently that your audience really wants to buy and pay for and work with you on receiving. So one of the things I wanted to share with you guys today was a story of a business that approached me. So I often have businesses ask me questions about launching products or services or how to get in touch with a new maybe niche or target audience. And so the conversation I had today was with a really interesting business. They have a new product that they're launching. They've specifically developed themselves. It's brand new, but it's interesting because they're not new to business themselves. They're experienced business owners and entrepreneurs. However, this business is new. And so it's kind of exciting to work with kind of that scrappy seed stage startup in terms of how do we get this offer, this product in front of the right audience. And so when we were talking today, one of the things that struck me was there were so many different audiences that she was thinking about reaching out to. So let's just say that this is a pet food. So say it's a dog food. So there's a bunch of different potential markets you could go after if you had this specific formulated, fresh concept dog food, right? You could go after, puppies, you could go after veterinarian, you could go after affiliate marketing, you could go after people that are dealing with like overweight dogs. So there's all these different niches and kind of different target segments. You could go breed specific, right? So there's different ways you could do it. You could do it wholesale, you could do it retail, you could do it, try to get into big distribution. So there's a bunch of different models and target audiences that you could go after if you've developed a brand new product like this woman has. And so for me, the interesting thing, and one of the very first questions I ask as a marketer is, who is this product for? Who do you want to talk to? So it doesn't matter whether you are a small seed stage scrappy startup or whether you are a big brand with billion-dollar, million-dollar budgets. You have to be choiceful when you're thinking about the audience that you're marketing your product or service to. So here's the thing. I have worked with brands like Dole and Starbucks, J&J, WebMD. I was just leading a workshop for Estee Lauder, and even their brands, which are doing, some of their sub-brands are doing 60 plus launches a year. They have to be specific in terms of who is the target audience that they really want to serve, that they really want to connect with. Because there's 3 essential questions you need to answer when you're thinking about launching a new product or service. So number 1, who are you solving? Or who are you serving? What problem are you solving? And why you, right? So those are the 3 questions you need to ask whenever you're thinking about launching a new product or service. So the thing I really loved about speaking with this business owner today about this new opportunity, she's developed this new product. They've put in all of this work. They're not new to business. They're familiar with how to run a business. But in thinking about how to get this product in front of the right audience, the audience that's going to be the most profitable for them and the biggest return on their investment, because like many of us, they don't have an unlimited marketing budget, right? So they have to be smart with their investments. So if you've ever heard the phrase, if you chase 2 rabbits, you'll catch none, it's so true when it comes to marketing and targeting. So you need to be very specific about who you want to go after, who you want to attract to your business through your marketing and through your advertising efforts, so that you can be most efficient in the investment that you're making, whether you're doing paid investment or whether you're investing your time, energy, and kind of personal resources into bringing people into your world. So when you think about it that way, you need to basically figure out who is going to be the most profitable target for you, bring those people into your world because they're going to be the best fit for the product or service that you have to offer, right? Okay, so I promised you guys I would share with you 3 big mistakes to avoid and instead turn them on their head and avoid them by actually creating consistent offers that your audience wants to buy from you. So one of the things, the first thing that I want to share is you always need to make sure that you are super clear on this picture of who you're serving, right? So the specificity, whether you're calling it niching down or targeting or positioning, whatever it is, being specific about who it is, what they are dealing with, what their biggest pain point is the biggest thing, right? So get inside their head. Make sure that you are super clear on who this person is. Number two, you want to be super clear about what their biggest pain point is. So a lot of times people get stumbled or caught up on finding a problem to solve, but they don't take the time to really understand, is this the biggest problem? And is this a problem that your audience is actually willing to pay to solve, right? So there's always this fun story about, two ladies were out at a wine bar outside in Portland, of course, with dogs, because everyone brings their dogs to bars in Portland. So they were out having a wine on a patio. One of the ladies had her dog, and the dog's whining. So her friends asked, well, why is the dog whining? And the lady said, well, he's sitting on a nail. And her friend asked, well, why doesn't he move? Well, the dog's not uncomfortable enough to move. He's just uncomfortable enough to whine about it. So here's the thing. You need to make sure that this is the top priority. This is a priority pain point that they're willing to pay to solve. So that's number two. Number three, the biggest mistake that I see businesses make when they're offering a new product or service is they aren't matching up the value that they're providing through that product or service against that biggest pain point. So even if you've done number one and found a very specific target audience, you've done number two, and you know what that big pain point is that they're willing to pay to solve, you're not matching up so that the audience is very clear on how your thing, your service, product, or offer is specifically addressing and providing value to address that biggest pain point. So if you've done all the homework up front on the first two, the biggest problem I see is when you miss that connection point and you're not articulating the value, the outcome, the benefit that you're actually providing that matches up with that biggest pain point. And instead of focusing on that outcome, that benefit, you're getting stuck in all of the minutia, right? Because we get so enamored by our stuff that we want to talk about all the bells and the whistles and the switches and the buttons and how many videos there are and how many weeks it is and how many calls you get and all these different things. But at the end of the day, people aren't paying for all of those buttons and switches. They're paying for the results that are going to address that big pain point that you addressed in number two. So those are the three big mistakes I want to share with you. If you want a leg up, I have a free gift for you today. So I am sharing with you guys my Audience Intelligence Quick Start, which is my guide that will give you the 10 key questions you need to ask your audience in order to make irresistible offers consistently that are the kind of offers for products or services that your audience is willing to pay for. So if that's of interest to you, check out the link above, and I look forward to seeing you on another episode here of Sticky Note Marketing. Cheers. See you next week.